Unaware that fate was about to bring her past and present crashing into each other, Lana Hartley, now 5 months pregnant and living a life she never imagined, felt the cold mud slam into her stomach before she even saw the man behind it. She gasped as the icy water soaked through her sweater, clinging to her bump, the miracle doctor swore she would never have again, before she lifted her eyes and saw the one face she prayed she would never see. Damian Cole, the same Damian who once whispered, "I love you," in a hospital room as their newborn daughter died in Lana's arms. The same Damian who refused to miss a business deal even when Lana begged him to come hold their baby one last time. The same Damian who walked out of their marriage without looking back and told the world she was barren, unfaithful, and mentally unstable. And now he sat in a luxurious car, laughing as dirty water dripped down her face. His new fiancée, a model named Sabrina Vale, giggled beside him. "Damian, you're awful," she squealed, while Damian leaned out the window, eyes dripping with contempt. "Still living like the poor failure I left behind," he smirked. "Look at you, Lana, shopping at discount stores, dressing like someone who lost everything, which you did." His eyes dropped to her belly, and the smirk twisted into something venomous. "And you're pregnant? Who on earth was stupid enough to get you pregnant?" His voice lowered, cruel and sharp enough to cut through bone. "We both know your body can't carry a child. You'll lose this one too, just like you lost ours." Lana's breath hitched, memory stabbing through her like lightning. The sterile hospital room, her baby's perfect still face, Damian arriving 8 hours late, smelling like whiskey and arrogance, dismissing their daughter's death with, "These things happen." She remembered the doctor's devastating words that trauma had damaged her uterus, making pregnancy nearly impossible. She remembered Damian whispering, "So you're basically barren," as if she were defective machinery. She remembered the years of emotional abuse he called standards, the nights he didn't come home, the affairs he didn't bother hiding, the day she walked in and found him in their bed with Sabrina long before their divorce. And she remembered how for 3 agonizing years she believed she deserved it. But Damian had no idea who Lana Hartley was now. He had no idea she was no longer the timid schoolteacher he shattered. He had no idea she was now Lana Whitmore, married to Ethan Whitmore, the only son of billionaire Charles Whitmore, a man whose £14 billion empire controlled everything from energy to real estate to government infrastructure. The very contracts Damian's company depended on to survive. He had no idea that in 3 weeks, when Charles Whitmore stood on national television to announce Lana's pregnancy as the future Whitmore heir, the world would witness Damian Cole's empire crumble in real time. But to understand how this moment came to destroy Damian, you must understand why it broke Lana in the first place. 6 years earlier, Lana was 23, standing in a small registry office in a handmade dress sewn by her mother, watching Damian slide her ring onto her finger. He was charming, ambitious, magnetic, everything a girl from a modest neighborhood dreamed of. Damian was building something big, Cole Developments, a property empire across Manchester and London, and Lana, who taught Year 3 students and made £31,000 a year, was proud to support him. The first year felt like a fairy tale. Damian showered her with gifts she never asked for, designer bags, expensive perfumes, dresses she felt too shy to wear. He introduced her to business partners as "my wife, the teacher," and Lana mistook the quiet condescension in his voice for pride. By the second year, the cracks widened. He critiqued her clothes, her job, her friends. "You represent me," he'd say. "You need to look like a Cole." He scheduled her hair appointments without asking and replaced her wardrobe with clothes she didn't choose. Lana convinced herself it was love. By the third year, she became pregnant. Lana wept with joy. She imagined a baby girl with her eyes and Damian's dimples. Damian seemed excited at first, posting online, bragging to associates. But when morning sickness hit and Lana struggled physically, Damian grew annoyed. "Stop being dramatic. I have investors to impress." At 6 months, while reading to her students, Lana felt terrifying cramps. She called Damian 17 times. He ignored every call. A colleague rushed her to the hospital. Their daughter, whom Lana named Ava, was born silent, tiny, perfect, gone. Lana screamed for Damian to come. He arrived hours later, complaining about bad timing. When she tried to share her grief, he said coldly, "The doctor says these things happen. We'll try again." But the doctor later delivered worse news. Complications had severely damaged her uterus. A future pregnancy was unlikely, dangerous, less than 10% chance. When Lana told Damian, he said 5 words she would never forget. "So you're basically barren." From that moment, he used her infertility as a weapon. At parties, "We want kids, but Lana has issues." During arguments, "Maybe I'd come home if you could give me a family." About his affairs, "I'm a man. I need an heir. You can't give me that." Lana withered under the weight of his cruelty, staying because she believed no one would want someone broken. Until the night she found Sabrina in their bed. Damian didn't apologize, didn't hide. He simply said, "Maybe if you were more exciting and not barren, I wouldn't need someone else." Lana packed a bag and left, but Damian wasn't done. He told everyone she cheated, that she was unstable, that she destroyed the marriage. She lost friends, confidence, years of her life. For 11 months, she lived in a small flat, teaching during the day, going to therapy, piecing herself back together. Then her friend dragged her to a literacy charity gala where she met a man setting up chairs, quiet, kind, not trying to impress anyone. "I'm Ethan," he said. And instead of asking where she worked or what she earned, he asked her favorite children's book. 2 hours later, Lana realized she'd talked without ever feeling judged. Coffee turned into dinner, into long walks, into healing. He listened to her grief without trying to fix it. When she told him about Ava, he cried with her. 4 months later, he told her the truth. He was Ethan Whitmore, heir to Whitmore Global Holdings. Lana froze, terrified he was about to change, but he squeezed her hand and said, "I didn't tell you because I needed someone to see me, not my name." She married him in a small ceremony. His father, Charles, walked her down the aisle whispering, "You're my daughter now." Lana's life changed, but she stayed the same, still teaching, still giving, still humble. Then one morning she felt dizzy at school. A pregnancy test confirmed the impossible. 2 lines, positive. Lana broke down sobbing, not from joy, but from terror. Ethan held her, promising she wouldn't face a single moment alone. Every appointment, he was there. Every scan, every fear. At 4 months, doctors said the pregnancy was healthy. A miracle, one whispered. And for the first time since Ava, Lana allowed herself to hope. One afternoon, craving biscuits and oranges, Lana went to her old Tesco, alone, no security, wanting to feel normal. And that's when Damian saw her, or hunted her. The splash, the laughter, the cruelty, the humiliation, the world stopping around her. After he sped away, Lana called Ethan. "Can you pick me up?" she whispered. When he arrived and saw her soaked, shaking, covering her stomach, something inside him shifted. He held her, then ordered his team, "Find the video, find everything on Damian Cole." Within 2 hours, the video went viral. Within 24 hours, Lana's identity was exposed. Pregnant daughter-in-law of billionaire Charles Whitmore splashed by property tycoon. Damian panicked. His board panicked. His investors panicked. Then Charles Whitmore made 3 calls. The government froze Damian's $380 million contracts. Banks called in his loans. His stock crashed 58% in a day. His board removed him. Sabrina left him. His penthouse was seized. But the final blow came 3 weeks later at a nationally televised charity gala. Charles stood before the most powerful people in Britain, Lana glowing beside Ethan in a sapphire dress. Tonight, Charles said, "I am honored to announce that my daughter Lana is carrying my first grandchild, the heir to the Whitmore legacy." Applause exploded. Charles raised a hand. "Let it also be known, Anyone who harms my daughter or endangers her child will face consequences beyond imagination." The cameras captured Lana smiling, strong, healed, radiant. Damian watched from a small rented flat, surrounded by debt letters, realizing he hadn't just lost Lana, he lost everything he ever cared about. 3 months later, James Ava Whitmore was born healthy and perfect. Lana held him and whispered, "You were worth every tear." Damian now works a basic consulting job, earning £62,000 a year. Alone. Forgotten. Meanwhile, Lana's story inspired millions, proof that broken things can heal, that kindness is strength, and that sometimes the greatest revenge isn't destruction, but becoming someone impossible to ruin. The scripture says, "A man reaps what he sows." Damian sowed cruelty. Lana sowed love,